The best thing about being a business consultant is that I get to talk to really intelligent people about their great ideas. And I even get to play a hand in bringing some of those ideas to life. But every once in a while, I meet someone who's really passionate about a great business idea, but has no interest in making it reality. In many cases, it's because they believe something completely untrue about what it takes to run a successful business. I also meet a lot of entrepreneurs who are currently running businesses, but aren't enjoying it because they're comparing their reality to the fiction they see online. Sadly, this perspective can suck a lot of the fulfillment out of some amazing achievements. The way I'll put it is that if you convince yourself that you're going to have a bad day before you've even left your home, chances are you're going to have a bad day. Your mindset can taint your positive experiences, suck the joy out of being a business owner, or even put you off trying in the first place. I'm Abby, and this channel is called Expensive Lessons because, as a business owner for over a decade, I've had to learn a lot of painful business lessons the hard way. Rather than experiencing that same pain, you can sit back, relax, and be happy you're not me for the next 10 minutes. In this video, I'm going to highlight some of the common myths associated with running a business and share some facts and personal experiences that should help dispel some of these tired concepts. I'm also going to share why I think right now is one of the best times in history to start or grow a business. So, myth number one is that you're too old to start a business. Did you know that the average age of a first time entrepreneur is 39 years old? I know it seems like every entrepreneur is in their 20s these days, but that's partially because companies that serve entrepreneurs tend to focus on younger people. Also, many of the most famous startup success stories feature young founders like Mark Zuckerberg, but these are the extreme outliers. When you think about it, it's not surprising that entrepreneurs tend to be older on average. The entrepreneurs most likely to do well are the ones who have some expertise and understand what it takes to run a successful business, and that takes time. So if you're beating yourself up for not being further along in your business journey, remember you're probably right where you need to be. Myth number two, your business must make at least seven figures. Did you know that in 2024, the average turnover for a micro business, that's a business with less than 9 employees, was £580,000, and the average turnover for a business with no employees was £90,000? I meet so many founders with this arbitrary £1 million target for their business, and while it's fine to have an ambitious goal, it shouldn't overshadow what you've actually achieved. I can't overstate how difficult it is to convince someone you've never met before to give you money for a product or service. If you've done that, you've done something that 99% of the population hasn't. The good news is that if you can find one customer, you can usually find 1,000. But every order you receive is a success. Depending on the industry and the amount of time you're committing to your business, making £1 million a year might be extremely unrealistic, and that's okay. This self imposed pressure to be a millionaire might actually be stealing away joy, especially if you're running a business that will make you enough money to sustain yourself, sustain your lifestyle, allow you to be your own boss, all whilst doing something that you really passionately enjoy. Putting pressure on yourself to be a millionaire means that you won't be able to appreciate the fact that you've achieved financial independence by turning an idea in your head into something that others value. Myth number three, your business will take over your life. Did you know that about a third of business owners work less than 40 hours a week, which is less than a 9 to 5? I mentioned earlier that a lot of the marketing online about entrepreneurship is targeted towards young people. This content seems to center around productivity hacking and hustle culture or that rise and grind mentality. Personally, as an older entrepreneur, that content just doesn't appeal to me. People like me, we've got families, we've got bad backs, and we love a good night's sleep. I'm not going to post on social media every day just because an online guru says it will blow up my business. It might, but I guess I'll never know because quality of life is way more important to me at this age. It's generally true that you get out what you put in, but that doesn't mean the only way to succeed is to sacrifice your physical and mental health. In actual fact, some of my most important business breakthroughs have come to me when I was on holiday. And pretty much all of the successful entrepreneurs I know understand the importance of rest and quality time with families. So next time you spend the day binging Netflix, don't feel guilty, enjoy it, and get back to work. Here's a good point for me to pause and ask you to share some feedback by liking the video or adding a comment. I'm still new to YouTube, and your feedback lets me know that I'm actually adding value and not just waffling. Maybe it's both. But on to myth number 4. Most entrepreneurs fail. This myth is misleading because although it's true that most businesses fail, it doesn't mean that most entrepreneurs do. There's a lot of data out there about the failure rates of small businesses and startups, but I looked really hard and couldn't find much data about the failure rate of entrepreneurs. Take me, for example. The reason why this channel is called Expensive Lessons is because I've failed a lot, far more than I've succeeded, and you can learn from my pain. I've had a business selling video game accessories, it failed. I had a t-shirt brand, it failed. I owned a hair salon, it failed. I had a graphic design business, I closed that. I had an Airbnb, I closed that too. I even had a consulting company before the one I currently run. So I've had so many more failed businesses than successful ones. But the thing that every successful entrepreneur appreciates is that you only have to be right once. Your first business probably won't be your best business, but the lessons you learn from running your first business will almost definitely improve your chances of success in the future. I mentioned earlier that the average age for a first time entrepreneur is about 39 years old. But interestingly, it's estimated that the average age for someone running a successful business is around 45 years old. This proves that it takes time to land on a process and a business that's right for you. So if your business does fail, embrace it, dust yourself off, and try again. Myth number 5. You need a lot of money to start a business. Did you know that the average startup cost for a UK business is roughly £22,000? This figure includes accounting, legal, and HR costs. But let's be real, most of you are not paying for accounting, legal, or HR costs. I've been running businesses for over 10 years and I've never spent a penny on HR services. This figure will be influenced by loads of factors like location, business type. If you're starting a business outside of London and you don't need a physical premises, you'll be spending a lot less. Let's also remember that this figure is an overall average, meaning it includes the startup costs of massive investor funded projects too. If you've got a creative or tech business, startup costs can be less than £1,000. Regardless of the startup costs, don't forget that the seed money doesn't even have to come out of your pocket. You can go to the bank and take out a business loan. You can pitch your business to investors or even set up a crowdfunding campaign. If you've got a great business idea and you're able to share a compelling vision, you can convince people to buy into it and financially support you. And finally, myth number 6. You need a unique business idea to be successful. Of course, having a really unique business idea is great, but completely unnecessary if you want to run a successful business. If every business had to be based on a unique idea, that would make a trip to Foot Locker or Tesco really boring because I'd only have one trainer brand to choose from and there'd only be one brand selling chocolate bars. You can get so caught up in trying to think of some creative and unique business idea that you lose sight of all of the successful businesses that aren't based on unique ideas. Still don't believe me? Well, here's 10 business ideas that you could literally start in 30 days that aren't unique in the slightest. Wedding photographer, event planner, event decorator, nanny, carer, dog walker, tutor, cleaning company, personal trainer, a moving company, landscaper, or gardener. I think that was more than 10. But that's just a list of businesses that you could start within 30 days. I could name hundreds of businesses that aren't unique. In reality, the success of a business has a lot less to do with how unique the value proposition is and a lot more to do with how well you execute your idea. That's why there are PTs who charge £10 an hour and PTs who can charge over £100 an hour. Yes, you'll have competition, but credible competition is just a sign you're in a healthy market. So that's 6 common myths debunked, and I hope you've taken some encouragement from this video and it's inspired you to grow your business. And you should, because I believe there's never been a better time in history for you or anyone to run a business. And why is that? Long story short, it's the internet. The internet means that you can learn valuable skills for free. It means that you can find people who not only share your vision, but are willing to invest time and resources to help your business grow. You have access to all the tools you need to build a business at lightning speed. And you can also find potential customers from all across the world. If I'm honest, I'm sure you've heard all of this before. So I'll leave you with this thought. In 2035, when you're 10 years older, what do you think you'll regret more? Putting your all into a business or not even trying? Again, please like this video and subscribe to see more content like this. If you want to give this a go and need some practical advice about what you should be doing to give yourself the best chance of success, then check out this video on screen now.